Okay, so let's jump right into the scripture. So we know that 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power and a love and of a sound mind." But before we talk about that power aspect of the scripture, let's quickly define what fear is. If we want to be technical, the dictionary defines fear as an unpleasant feeling that is caused by real or imagined circumstances. Now, if I'm being honest with myself, a lot of my fears stem from circumstances that I come up with in my mind, negative and just plain wrong things that I come up with in my mind, and I put more faith in those negative outcomes rather than the positive outcomes that God has granted me. And as a result, I am consumed by fear. So based on that definition of fear, we can also categorize fear as an inhibitor, as a destroyer, and as a disruptor of your life and the great plans that God has for you. So now that we know a little bit about fear, let's compare the characteristics of fear to the characteristics of God. Based on the Bible, God can be described as a supporter, as a friend, as a helper, as an aid, as a guide, and as a lover. 1 John chapter 4 deeply describes or emphasizes the loving aspect of God. 1 John chapter 4 verse 16 says that God is love. So based on those characteristics of God, it would make sense that he, being a God of love, being our supporter, being our friend, would not give us fear. If fear is something that inhibits us, if it's something that destroys us, it disrupts who we are, that wouldn't be granted by God, because that's not who God is. Actually, 1 John chapter 4:18 says that there is no fear in love, and instead love casts out fear. So if God is not the source of our fears, who is? Well, there's only one other option, which is the devil. The devil has the ability to get into your mind and allow you to believe negative imaginary circumstances and then be destroyed by fear. And we don't want to mess with the devil. So remember that. The source of fear is not God, because he is a God of love, and love casts out fear. Instead, the source of fear is the devil. Now that we know that God does not give us fear, let's see what he does give us, which is power. Power is defined as capacity or the ability to do something or to achieve something. It can be synonymous to strength or the capability. So why would God give us power? Why do we need power? Well, because God has granted us or given us a unique purpose. Everybody has a purpose on this earth. Everybody is here for a reason. Everybody has something that they can contribute to this world. Now, part of that purpose is saving souls, according to Matthew chapter 28. And then another part of that purpose is unique to you. God has given you gifts that he wants you to use for his glory. Now, I don't know what those gifts are. Maybe you have the gift of speech or encouragement, or the gift of organization, the gift of artistry. Maybe you're an artist like me. If you have to figure out your gift, and if you don't know your gift, that's okay. It took me, and I'm still trying to understand my gifts and what I can bring to society. But if you need clarity, ask God to help you figure it out. Ask him to show you what your gifts are, so you can glorify him. In order to access those gifts and to really fulfill our purpose, we're going to need power or the capacity to do so. And God has given us that, according to 2 Timothy 1:7. So essentially, power is our natural state. If God has created us, he has created us in his own image, according to Genesis chapter 1. And if he is an omnipotent or all-powerful God and he has formed us, it would make sense for us to have power as well. Of course, we're not on the same level as God. Nobody is. But he has given us a piece of him. He has given us the capacity to achieve our purpose and to make him smile and to glorify him. That's already within us. Power is our natural state, not fear. Power is our natural state. I'll give you guys an example. My most recent production I was in was Ain't Misbehaving. It was a huge show that the theater department at my school was doing. And I was cast as a principal singer. I was not expecting to be cast as a principal singer at all, but as a principal singer, I would have to perform solos. And if you know me, singing in public is one of my biggest fears. I do not like it. I try to stay away from it. You won't find me at karaoke night because I just do not like singing in front of others. And during the rehearsal process, I was just really, really scared. I was reserved. I lacked confidence. I was just in my head a lot because I was consumed by fear. And I talked to my dad about this. My dad's my go-to person. I talked to my dad, and he brought up 2 Timothy 1:7. And he said that, Andy, God has given you the capacity to do well. The power is within you. You just have to believe that. You got to believe that scripture. You have to believe that you can do it. And you have to believe that God is on your side. And that really resonated with me. And I had to ask God to help me change my thinking and to see the power that is within me. Show me, Lord. Help me to access it so I can glorify you. And of course, God answered my prayers, and he allowed me to be freed of that fear and to be uninhibited as a performer, to have fun, to make bold choices as an actress, and to do well. And then because of that situation, I now have a testimony, and next time I gotta sing in front of people, I may still be a little scared, but I have more confidence in myself, and I have more confidence in the power that God has given me. So what's the application? We all have fears. All of us have fears. So we need to first acknowledge that. Acknowledge your fear. What are you afraid of? And then acknowledge the source. We know that fear is not of God because he is a God of love. Love casts out fear. So your only other option is the devil. Then once you've acknowledged your fear in the source, then you cast that fear onto God. 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your cares upon him, for God cares for you. Talk to God. Ask him to rid you of that fear. Ask him to see your power, to give you the confidence to fulfill the purpose that he has crafted just for you. And then watch him work. Watch him work. Fear is always going to be here, but remember, power is your natural state. So feed into that power rather than your fear.